Hello, it's me, Lillian. I hope you're well, and I hope you can see me because it seems a little bit dark. That's it. That should be all right. Should be able to see me. Don't know why it's gone dark, but anyway, it's me, Lillian. I hope you're well. Excited to bring this video to you guys. And I can't remember what I put on the title for it, but it's something along the lines of how to protect yourself and keep yourself covered against catching any colds this winter and stay healthy and energized as well. Now, why am I sharing this video? Well, I've noticed that there are a lot of people and people who I've spoken to recently who seem to be getting colds and flus and tonsillitis, and they're feeling run down and they're still pushing through and working hard, and they're thinking, oh, Lillian, what can I do? I don't know what to do. And they're laid up in bed and all sorts of things are happening. And for those of you who are not in the UK, here in the UK, we're very much into our winter now. And I just thought, yeah, you know what? I'm feeling inspired, so I'm going to shoot a quick video and share with you guys things that I do, things that I share with my clients to do as well, things that you can apply. So before we get started, share this video with those that you know, men and women that you know, who are working hard and pushing through, and they're highly stressed and very busy, but you know that they've got colds. Okay, you know, you look at them, you think you should be in bed. Those who've got colds, those who've got flus, those who are saying to you, oh, I feel like I've got something on me, coming down with something, but I'm not sure what. Share this video with them. Share it on your timeline. Share it on whatever channels, social media that you're on, because this will help them and it's going to help you as well. And if you've got any questions, you can pop them in the comment box. If I can see the comments, I'll answer them. If not, I'll answer them at the end of the video. Otherwise, you can send me a private message if you want to carry on this conversation after this video. So why should you listen to me? Well, as you know, I'm very much into health and well-being. I've been in the industry for a gazumption of years. I think we're coming up to 18 years now, and I can talk about all things health and fitness, which is why today I make sure I've got my notes, because if I don't, I won't stay on track, and I'll be here forever, which is, I value your time. So that is why I'm doing the videos, because I've seen a lot of people with all these bugs and stuff going around. So I thought, yeah, let me share some juicy stuff with you guys so that you can start to apply this to you. So what I'm going to share today is a bit about how to protect yourself. Okay, and why do we get all these bugs and colds, particularly in the winter time? And yeah, and then how to protect yourself. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that, and then share any further information that I've got on here as well. And also to let you know how you can apply it, how you can start applying it today. Okay, this is not something that you apply later on, but you can start today, right this minute. And in fact, I've even got my cup of lovely herbal tea here. It's rooibos, and I've grated some fresh ginger into it as well. And I'll talk about the reasons why ginger is great for this time of the season, and throughout every season actually. So I'm just going to take a sip of that. And I'm also going to explain the benefits of what I'm going to share, the benefits that it will be for you, and in applying this now as well. Particularly, as I would say, I mean, some people would say that we've kind of entered in, we're in the midst of our winter. Our winter kind of really started October, but in the UK it's been a bit funny. One minute it's been very cold, and the next minute it's been warm. I mean, like the other day it was 14 degrees, today it's 7 degrees. So it tends to be a bit up and down with our UK winter nowadays. So, but hey, I'm saying we're in winter because it's cold. Okay, so let's get started. So the most important thing to remember is we have a system, internal system built into us, which we call our immune system, which I call this like our armed forces. Here in the UK, you know, we have our armed forces to protect the country. Well, we have an internal armed forces to protect us against any nasty bugs, any nasty bacteria that the body may deem as being harmful to us, that may want to kill us or cause harm to us. So we have this armed forces, these soldiers, which I like to call them, which help to fight bacteria and viruses. Now, sometimes for whatever reason, these little minute biological soldiers are not really doing their job properly, and somehow the nasty viruses and bacteria seem to seep into our system and start to get at us, you know, and start to attack us for whatever reason. And there are various reasons why that is. So now, our immune system, and I'll explain a bit about that later, our immune system is made up of predominantly our lymphatic system and in our gut as well, and I'll explain these two. So firstly, let me start with the gut first of all. Most people don't assume our gut to be housing that precious, awesome immune system in our gut. We've got wonderful bacteria. We've got a mixture of good and what we call bad bacteria. Okay, now the bacteria in our gut, friendly bacteria, is there to help fight off all these nasty bacterias and the foreign ones, which we call foreign, quote unquote, which come in through breathing, through eating, etc. You've also got what we call little filaments in our gut lining as well, which also helps to eradicate and deal with any bacteria. We've also got what we call our lymphatic system. Now, our lymphatic system is made up of our lymph vessels. It's also made up of our lungs. Our skin also is part of our lymphatic system, as well as our liver. Now, our liver does a big, huge job in terms of eradicating all toxins. It tries to neutralize them and do what it can to make sure that those toxins and nasty bacteria do not stay in our system. And we've also got our what we call our lymph vessels. Now, our lymph vessels are similar to like our arteries and our veins. The only difference is with our lymph vessels, it contains what we call our white blood cells. Now, our bone marrow is also part of our lymphatic system as well, and it also helps to fight bacteria. Now, what I call the soldiers, which I mentioned earlier, are white blood cells, and we also got what we call our antibodies and our lymphocytes. Now, if these are being suppressed and they're not operating at full capacity, then of course the little tiny bad bacteria and viruses will seep into our immune system and attack us. And then we come up with colds, flus, tonsillitis, you name it, winter bugs, that type of thing. Okay. Now, with the lymph vessel, it doesn't have a pump like our blood system does, our heart. Okay. So in order for the lymph to move around and do its job, we need to move. We need to do more movement. I'll explain more about that later on. So that's our lymphatic system and our gut system, which contains our immune system. Okay, don't worry if it's a bit kind of, well, what you talk about, it's a bit biological, but if you want more information, I will happily share that with you. Okay, so why is this suppressed? Now, various reasons why. Firstly, it could be to do with our environment. Now, in the winter, ideally, we get cold winters, etc., ice and all of that, because it helps to, I call it like a bit like a cleansing. It helps to clear away all those bad bacteria, those nasty bacteria, and suppress them and cause them to hibernate for a while. But like I said, here in the UK, we tend to have mild winters, and 1 minute the temperature is high, 14 degrees the other day, and then the next minute it's low, like today is 7 degrees. So ideally, those bacteria should be suppressed, low and quiet and sleeping. Now, if you're in heated environments, remember, heat equals thriving environment for bacteria, particularly bad bacteria. If you're in an office environment, in a home, or even in your car where there's lots of heat, you put your heating on full blast. I remember I used to do that when I used to work in an office. And, you know, people around you who may have got colds and flus, and they're sneezing and they're coughing and, you know, all the viruses going up in the air and airborne. You're there breathing it in. Chances are, if your immune system is suppressed or it's weak, chances are you're going to inherit those lovely viruses as well. Okay, so another reason why you may be inheriting and getting all these bugs, and because sometimes my clients and people come to me and say, oh, I don't know why I've got this cold, I don't know why I've got this flu, I never used to get them. And for some people that I know, they can get, you know, succession of them, you know, one each month almost. So another reason could be poor eating habits. Now, if you're one and you eat you know, processed foods, your eating routine is or your eating pattern contains lots of sugar, lots of refined carbohydrates, you're not really hydrating that well, you tend to drink a lot of coffee, caffeine drinks, fizzy drinks, etc., chances are it's not going to help in terms of your immune system. Your immune system loves nutritional stuff, which I'll go on to in a minute. And these type of foods and substances that I mentioned earlier are likely to weaken your immune system. Poor absorption of nutrients as well. So if you have some type of digestive disorder, something like candida, if you've got something like leaky gut syndrome as well, chances are that your intestines, your lining system is going to be weak, which means your immune system will be weak as well. You won't absorb all the nutrients from the foods that you eat, and therefore your system, your body will not be strong to fight against those bacteria and those viruses that enter into you. Your emotions, most people forget about this. Your emotions, if you are someone who worries a lot, if you are fearful, you've got fearful thoughts going on, if you're highly stressed and you're not dealing with those emotions appropriately, if you're anxious a lot of the time as well and you're not dealing with those emotions, chances are you're going to suppress them. And when you suppress them, whatever the mind and the emotion suppresses, the body will express. So that will get suppressed, and it normally attacks your immune system and your nervous system as well. Another reason why your immune system can be weak and you inherit all these lovely colds, flus and winter bugs is you're working hard, you're pushing through, you're not resting, you're not giving your body a chance to recover from the day. And if on top of that you're getting minimal sleep, say like you're going to bed at midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning and you're getting up early, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, chances are your body has not had enough chance to repair itself, to rest or to recover. Again, I mentioned about stress earlier. If your stress system is high, because if you're highly stressed, chances are your adrenal glands are busy pumping out lots of adrenaline, lots of cortisol, and the more your body is releasing all of those hormones, chances are those in turn will also suppress your immune system as well. It's like I mimic cortisol and adrenaline, especially if it's being released at high rates and you're highly stressed, like you just go to the petrol station, you're going to put petrol in your car and you just leave your hand on the pump, press it on, and no matter the gauge says that the car is full with petrol, you just keep pressing, you keep pumping, the petrol keeps coming. It's similar like that. Yeah, and what happens? Petrol goes all over the place. Yeah, and it's similar to this when it comes to stress. And then also another reason why you can inherit and get all these winter bugs is because there are people around you who have these as well, these viruses. Like I said, even if you're on the bus, public transport, the tube, the train, and people are sneezing next to you and coughing and things like that, no matter how much you try to cover up your nose and things like that, you know, if it's airborne and you're breathing it in, if you haven't got a strong immune system, chances are you're going to inherit it as well. Okay, so how does that sound? Does that sound familiar to you? Are you guilty of the sleeping patterns, and maybe you're worrying or anxious a lot? You're not dealing with those negative emotions, or maybe you haven't been eating that well. Maybe you've been skimping on sleep, or you've been highly stressed and pushing through. It's a busy period for you. You know, you can turn that around. It's not too late to turn that around, okay, and start protecting and strengthening your immune system so you don't get any colds and bugs. And I'm just going to have another sip of my lovely rooibos and ginger tea. Okay, so how to protect yourself now. So firstly, before I go into the various ways you can protect yourself, if you are on medication, any form of medication, no matter what it is, and it comes to, if you choose to do things like enhance your immune system with nutritional foods or supplements or herbs or spices, check with the effects of your medication. Make sure it's not going to clash. Make sure that it's not going to to lower the effects of your medication. If you're not sure, check on the, normally each medication comes with a description of your medication, or check with your GP as well, okay? So the first thing, how to protect yourself and your immune system against these lovely winter bugs, is to rest. Make sure you get lots of rest. Now people say, oh, but I haven't got time to rest, I'm so busy. Build it in, just like how you would schedule time to go to work, how you would schedule time to go out and do stuff, schedule time to rest, even if it's for an hour. If you find that where you are, maybe it's your office or your home environment is busy and you think, I'm never going to be able to rest, take yourself out. And one of my clients shared this with me this week, and he said to me, you know what? He said, I don't have the time right now in my schedule to go away, to go abroad and to get some rest. So what I did was I took myself out of London for the weekend, hired a cottage, and I just stayed there and I did nothing. He said when he came back, he felt so refreshed. He said it was just as good as if he had gone away, because he's someone who suffers with SAD, which is the seasonal affective disorder syndrome. And he wants to refresh himself. So I gave him some tips as to what to do. And he said, you know what? He said it just worked just as well as if I'd gone abroad to some sunny climate. So, you know, if you can't do it at home, if you can't do it in your normal environment, take yourself away from your normal environment and get some rest. Sleep. We need our sleep. We need our sleep. This is really important, because if you're not getting enough sleep, then what will happen is your immune system will be affected. So the experts, quote unquote, say that we need anywhere between 7 to 10 hours of sleep each night. Yes, because there's a lot of repair and recovery that our bodies go through. It actually goes through stages. First it's the mental, and then the physical, or it's the physical and the mental. And then your emotions as well also partake in that, in being repaired and recovery and restoration. So do your best. Now, if you're someone who, and you know, you kind of get to bed midnight and get up 5 o'clock in the morning, and I've been guilty of that myself, you know, do your best. And, you know, for the next night, maybe tonight, you could say, right, last night I went to bed midnight. No, it's not going to happen again. This time I'm going to aim for. And if you feel that, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock is a bit of a push, you know, maybe 11 o'clock, start there, maybe 11:30, start there, and then slowly start to increment and increase your sleeping time as you go through the week. Okay, I'm also an advocate for naps. I love my naps. So if you can grab yourself a nap, do so. Grab yourself a nap during the day. A 20-minute, the experts say 20-minute nap is just as good as if you napped for an hour as well, because that in itself can help to re-energize and boost your energy, and in turn also boost your immune system as well. Managing your stress is very important. So if you know during this time you're in a highly stressed period, then take a step back. Think, why am I highly stressed? Why am I feeling stressed? Look, check. If you can't see the woods for the trees, speak with someone and say, listen, I notice that I'm really stressed and I seem to get rattled by the slightest thing. Is it just me? Or, you know, help me, speak through it, journal. There are loads of things that you can do to manage your stress. I'm not going to go through all of them now because that's not for this video. But if you want to know more information or how you can start applying certain tools to manage your stress, then message me or put it in the comments box below and I will get back to you on that. Regular exercise. Now remember what I mentioned before about our lymphatic system. Now our lymphatic vessels, the lymph in the vessels can only be moved around through movement. Now if your lifestyle is considered to be sedentary, now sedentary lifestyle is where you are sitting down a lot or you're standing in one spot a lot of the time. If you're living an active lifestyle, chances are you'll be on the move. You'll be moving forwards and backwards. You'll be active at a reasonable pace that is not stressful. Okay, because there's a difference. Someone said to me one time, they said, oh, but Lillian, but my lifestyle is active. I'm always rushing around. Once I've done this, then I'm rushing here. I'm going to this meeting, I'm going there and this, that. And I said, okay, and how do you feel stress-wise? Oh, yeah, it does stress me out. Okay, so there's a difference, okay? So you can be active in terms of, oh, yeah, so I move from one position to another and I'm not sitting down all the time. I'm up quite frequently and I'm walking about, or I'm not standing still all the time. I am moving, but I don't feel stressed. Then that's an active lifestyle. But if you've got a sedentary lifestyle and you're sitting down a majority of the time, chances are your lymph system will be suppressed. So make sure that you build in regular exercise. Now, it doesn't mean you have to go to the gym. If you're not a gym buddy, then no, don't do it. Simply go and walk. I went for a walk earlier today. Just get your walk in, whether it's 10 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour's walk. Do something to get your body moving. If you don't want to walk, you can cycle. If you don't want to do that, if you've got rollerblades, put your rollerblades on and rollerblade up and down the street. And if you don't want to go out because it's too cold and maybe you're feeling, maybe you've got one of these winter bugs, then just go up and down your stairs, walk around your house, walk around your flat, walk around your office. That's what I used to do when I used to work in corporate, and I couldn't get out, or I didn't want to go out in the cold. I used to, because we were on the, I think it was the 9th floor, and I used to just go up and down the staircase, and that was my exercise for me. So get some exercise in. Cleanse and detoxes. Now, now you see why I've got to use my notes, because I can go on and on about each and every one of these items here. Cleansing and detox. Now, if you cleanse and detox regularly throughout the year, and I know this for a fact because I've been doing this ever since I burnt out in, whenever it was, 6 years ago. And I regularly do cleanses and detoxes. And again, if you want more information on that, I'm happy to share that with you. Just send me a message and we can chat about that. And there are different types of cleanses and detoxes. There's a natural detox where you just use food only. You can do it with herbs. You can do it with supplements. And what I find is people who regularly do cleanses and detox throughout the year tend to have less colds, if anything, no colds or no flus or no winter bugs at all. Exactly, because cleansing and detoxing actually helps to strengthen your immune system. It's particularly the ones that I tend to go for. The cleanse and detoxes I tend to go for tend to help enhance and boost your immune system, and as well as your lymphatic system as well, particularly the liver. So if you've got a sluggish liver, and particularly if you're one for getting all these winter bugs, again, look at your liver. Chances are that your liver might be a bit sluggish and it might need a bit of a cleanse and a bit of a detox. Once you've done that, you will find that that will help you a lot. Okay. Another way to protect yourself against these winter bugs as well and boost your immune system and stay healthy and energized throughout the winter, nutritional foods. Okay, so there's foods, there's eating, and there's eating nutritionally. Okay, so we're looking at our antioxidant foods. So predominantly foods that contain a lot of vitamin A, a little vitamin C, and vitamin E. What we call abbreviation, what we say is ACE. Okay, so our antioxidants, and those are the ones that are going to fight those toxins and those nasty bugs and bacterial infections in our body. So we're looking at foods like, well, mainly fruit and vegetables, okay, but like your bright fruit, bright vegetables. So vegetables like carrots, like bell peppers, tomatoes, okay, onions are fantastic, particularly to help boost your immune system as well. Bright fruit, I would say all fruits really, you know, particularly citrus ones, lemons, limes, grapefruits, oranges, apples, all of those contain your vitamins A, C, and E as well. Okay, so make sure you get those into your eating pattern right now. And leafy greens, lots of leafy greens, because those are highly fibrous as well, and they contain a lot of water. And what happens is when you eat lots of these type of foods, not only will they help to clean out your digestive system, particularly your bowels, of any nasty bugs that might be lying dormant in there, but it also hydrates you as well. Okay, and I'll come on to hydration in a minute. Now, herbs and spices that you can use to help protect you and boost your immune system. And again, caution on this, if you've never used any of these, check with your doctor, especially if you're on medication, or you can speak to me about them. Echinacea is high on my list during this time, and normally when I notice that the weather's getting a bit cold, or if I feel like something's coming on me, whether it's sniffles or I feel a bit throaty, or I notice a lot of people around me are sneezing and coughing and got winter bugs, I am on that echinacea like bees to honey. So you can buy them from any good health shop, liquid form or herbal form, which comes in a capsules, or tea form as well. That's echinacea, okay? And that's spelled ECHINACEA. Hinacea. Also, another herb that I go for is called golden seal, which is similar. It's a natural antibiotic similar to echinacea, which is also a natural antibiotic. And these two together, oh my goodness, they will kapow any nasty winter bugs and bacteria that are floating in your body, and they will help deal with that as well. Turmeric is awesome. I make sure I put turmeric in most of my meals nowadays, and I like it as well. That's a natural spice. You can get that in natural form. It's similar to ginger, but it's orange. It's got a skin covering, but be careful if you're going to use the natural form, and not the powder form, because you could get it in its natural form or in powder. It's bright orange, and by the time you finish peeling it, everything's going to be orange. So be careful of that. Otherwise, just go for powder form. It's easier. Okay. And then ginger, another great spice that you can use, and garlic. Oh my goodness. Again, I put lots of garlic in all my cooking nowadays. And ginger, like I said to you, I'm drinking my herbal tea, and I've just grated some fresh ginger into that. And it's, that helps to get all the nutrients into my system and protect my immune system and protect me from these lovely nasty bugs as well. Right, the next thing you can do is apply and take supplements. I always use supplements as a last resort, not first. For me, when it comes to doing internal stuff, it's always the cleansing, detox, and then the eating the nutritional foods, the herbs and the spices, and then the supplements. But go with what feels great for you, okay? So supplements, we're looking, for me, particularly when I used to do this a lot, I don't really take that many supplements now. But I used to take high doses of vitamin C and zinc as well. Those two are really crucial at this time, and it helps you against these winter bugs as well. Okay. And then hydration, as I mentioned before, make sure that you're highly hydrated. Now, let me give you an analogy here, which is great. Imagine a riverbed, okay, a river that's flowing with water. Okay, now imagine that river stops flowing, and slowly the water starts to decrease, and then you start to see the bed itself of the riverbed, and all the water starts to dry up. What happens? Sooner or later, you start to see things start to grow in that riverbed where the water is no longer there. Okay, so most of them can be weeds. Okay, some of them can be some good stuff growing through, but a majority of the time tends to be not such good stuff. And also, if the water is very low in that riverbed, it can be, and no fresh water is flowing through, that riverbed can become stagnant, and then sooner or later it can start to stink and breed what? Bad bacteria. And it's the same with us humans. If we don't stay hydrated, okay, we're not drinking enough fluids, we're not getting enough fluids in our system, chances are those lovely bacteria, bad bacteria that we've inherited that could be lying dormant in us, are waiting for the opportune time. And when we haven't got fresh fluid, fresh water coming through, whether that's in the form of teas, herbal teas, coconut waters, etc., and through our fruit and vegetables, chances are those bugs are going to start to thrive, and then the next thing you know, you've got a cold. Now, people reckon, they say, oh, but I was all right yesterday, and I don't know how I got this cold or the flu or the tonsillitis or whatever. Generally, it takes about 2 weeks to incubate. So from the time that bug has entered into your system, it takes up to 2 weeks for it to thrive and start attacking. So that's why I'm saying that when I start to notice people around me are getting all these colds and the flus, etc., that is when I start to operate, because I know that if that comes in and my immune system is weak, then I've got 2 weeks to combat that. So 2 weeks is the incubation period. Okay. So hydration, hydrate with herbal teas, coconut water, hot honey and lemon. Honey is great in fighting bacteria, any bad, nasty bacteria. And of course, water, natural water. Our bodies are made up, depending upon the research, what you read, anywhere between 70 to 80% of water. So why not introduce that first into your system? It's only natural. And that is it, my lovelies. That is it. Those are the ways. That is what I'm sharing with you guys today on how to, and I've forgotten the title, whatever I put there on the title of this video. But basically, how to protect yourself from catching those winter bugs, the colds, the flus, whatever it is floating around, and to boost your immune system and to protect yourself so that you stay healthy and energized throughout this winter. And for us in the UK, our winter starts from about October and it can last through to March, maybe April. So that's a good few months, 6 months possibly. So you really want to get on top of this. And like I said, anyone that you know around you who has got colds, who's got flus, who've said to you, oh, I'm coming down with something, or I'm a bit throaty, or oh, I've got this cough or this cold, share this video with them. Those who you see are, you know, they're running around and maybe they're running themselves into the ground and you think, you know what, you should really be in bed with your coughing and things like that. Share this video with them as well. Share it on your timeline, share it wherever, so that you can help others as well. Okay, now let me just check and make sure that I haven't got anything more else to share with you. Okay, so like I said, today you can start applying what I said. So what are you going to start with first? You know, maybe you might think, oh, you know what, Lillian mentioned about hydration. Maybe I'm going to start hydrating, getting more fluids in me. Maybe you might think, oh, you know what, I used to take some of these herbs that she mentioned. Let me go down to the local health shop and go and buy some. Or maybe you just think to yourself, oh, you know what, I haven't done a cleanse detox for a while. Maybe I should do one just to boost my immune system for the winter. Why not? Maybe you just think to yourself, oh, let me just check over my eating. Maybe it just needs a bit of an overhaul. Start acting. Just take one step. I always say start with one thing first. Well, with me, I'm an all or nothing person, but always start with one thing first. Start with one thing. Apply it. And then once you've got that under your belt, then do the next thing. So you may have to go over this video and track what I've mentioned. So go ahead and start applying it now. And the benefits are you're going to have a really strong immune system, you know, against these bugs. This is not a 100% guarantee that you won't get colds or flus, but if you hadn't applied all of this, it could be worse. You could be laid up in bed. And for some people, by doing this, sometimes they just say, oh, I've got something coming on me. They start applying this, and the next thing they're fine. You know, I get people who apply this, they've already got a cold or flu or whatever. They start applying it and they recover very, very quickly. And there are a whole host of other things I could have mentioned, like doing steams, like doing Epsom salt baths as well, and using all sorts of balms on your skin. But this video will go on for an hour or so. But if you want to know more information, if you know, oh yeah, I'd really love to get going on this, but I don't know where to start. Lily, you shared so much juicy information. Where do I start? And you want to know more, then pop it in the comments box. I will see it and just say, Lillian, can I know more information? Can we have a quick chat? I'm happy to chat with you. Or you can send me a message on my page. And again, let's connect, let's chat, let's get you you know, strengthened up with your immune system and staying healthy and energized this winter. Okay, and not only for yourself, but for those around you as well. Yeah, so send me a message, put comments in the box, and I'll get back to you. Great stuff. So I don't know whether there was anyone on this live, but if there was and I didn't see you, forgive me, because nothing came up on here. But I trust you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next video. Take care. And oh, by the way, when you apply this stuff, let me know how you get on as well. All right, take care. Bye.